So yesterday I mentioned the 40-day Gayatri practice, chanting the Gayatri mantra 108 times every day for 40 days. So there's also the same practice with the Triambakam mantra. And I don't know how many days we've been doing here. It's not 40 yet, but we're probably somewhere on the way. So sometimes this kind of practice is understood as a kind of spiritual archaeology, as a kind of digging through the layers of our stuff. And of course, as it gets towards the lower part that's been there for so long, ignored, sometimes it gets a bit tougher, seems to. But that's really the time to carry on, because we'd probably rather get rid of that stuff. So if we want to, we can think of the mantra in that way. So it's really the lazy person's spiritual life here. So we sit and we chant and we let the mantra do the work. So we don't need to join in with what it's doing. In fact, it's much better if we're out of the way, resting in the heart. And just sometimes something might become apparent to everyday consciousness. That stuff is moving, coming up in us. So just say the mantra again if you become aware of that. Hand it over to the mantra. So let's keep going. Just bring it to the party. You might get a surprise. Who knows? So these practices, they're not instant pills like we're used to in our age of Google and instant everything, even soup. So it's organic, like the rest of us. It happens organically because we're beautiful flowers, trees, beings. We're beautiful beings. And if we ask and allow this process to unfold organically and naturally, then will. It will, yeah. So with patience, acceptance, and no expectation. Yeah. So we're not doing it to get a result. I'm just mentioning some things that have been noticed by yogis in recent times and in ancient times. Same. So we can be explorers on the frontiers of consciousness. Heart track. So I'll just say, make it so. I look forward to being together again tomorrow. And yeah, just thank you for being here, for joining. and supporting the practice every day. So yesterday I said something about spiritual archaeology, and a few people have been interested in that. So I was saying that the Triambakam mantra is clearing away our stuff for us. So I wanted to say that this mantra is great for that. All mantras are great for that. All our yoga practices, all of them are good for that. Anytime we're connecting with goodness, with love, it's doing that too. So this is when we feel very joyful that every moment of our life has the potential for practice. Anytime we reconnect, we are practicing. Anytime we notice our thought pattern and decide we could choose a different one, we're practicing. Anytime we're careful of our words, because we don't want to cause any harm or disturbance, we're practicing. Anytime we decide to do something really kind for ourselves, preparing a beautiful, colorful salad, making the bed with all love, we're practicing. So mantra is a great way for this spiritual archaeology. So perhaps in the beginning of our practice, our spiritual life, whatever we want to call it, our real life, our life, there's only one. Maybe the digging is quite big. Maybe the JCBs come in at first to mark out the site. And then we come with the shovels and do digging that way. Huh? But have you seen those films of archaeologists? Maybe some of you have been there too. I haven't had that experience yet, but I've seen it on a film of the archaeologist when they've discovered the precious thing. And that's when they come with a little brush. And so carefully, they're sweeping off the dust. And with all patience and love and care, finally, the precious thing is revealed. That's what the mantra is doing. It's carefully, gently, lovingly sweeping the dust off the mirror of our hearts. Our hearts are fine. The mirror has the dust. You know where the mirror is, right? So with this kind of practice, sometimes might be possible we come all the way down in our spiritual archaeology and we come to what we might call our core belief. That's often very interesting to discover what has been at the base of this stuff that we've been carrying around and polishing forever instead of polishing the precious thing that we are. And when we come to the base of the core belief and look at what was supporting that, do you know what we find? Nothing. Nothing was supporting it except the belief of the mind. So we begin to understand that as love, we are not vulnerable in any way. the body is. But us, who we are as love, seems to be only vulnerable to one thing, our own mind. So I do know it's painful when it's going on. I'm sorry to laugh, but you have to see the funny side too, I think. But we can't think our way out of it. We can't use the problem to solve the problem. And that's why I personally feel so grateful for all the teachings of yoga, all the practices we've been given, and I enjoy the daily practice of the sweeping the dust off the mirror of the heart. Thank you all. And I see you tomorrow with your blessing, if God's willing.